This is my Old Kentucky Homestead, and in today's video we're talking about making strawberry jam. The recipe that I use comes from the Ball's Blue Book Guide to Preserving, and I'll go over all of the ingredients with you. You're going to need about 5 pounds of strawberries, then 7 cups of sugar, 6 tablespoons of pectin, and then 1/4 cup of lemon. And then you're going to need your jars, rings, and lids, and then all of your canning equipment with that. So we're going to dice the strawberries up, and we'll come back when we've got that done. Okay, so actually instead of dicing those, I went ahead and ran them through the food processor and just pulsated it to get chopped pretty finely, but not completely. So that made it a lot faster process for us. So now we're going to add the 6 tablespoons of pectin, and then 1/4 cup of lemon juice. So we're going to stir this until it mixes really well. And then we're going to bring this to a boil. There's a little bit of a leaf in there. Let me get that out. Okay. Alright, so we're going to bring this to a rolling boil. And it'll take a couple minutes for that, so we'll bring you back when it's boiling. Okay, so it's back up to a boil, or it is up to a boil now. And will splash, so just be careful of that. So now we're going to put in the sugar. Oops, okay. Oh, I needed a bigger pot. Okay, well, we're going to stir this around so that it will dissolve carefully before I splash it out of the pot. Okay. And we'll come back whenever this is all dissolved. Alright, so that was at a rolling boil for a minute, and then I took it off of the heat. Really, I need a bigger pot. It was really about to boil over, so I had to remove that from the heat real quick. Now I'm going to take a metal spoon, and you just want to kind of skim off a little bit of this foam. Some people, I've heard, they add in a little bit of butter. I think the butter fat helps with the foam. I've never tried that, so I don't know. But I just always skim the foam off. And try to get all that off if you can. Try not to get into the jelly or jam. Okay, I think that's about all of the foam that I can get without really getting into the jam. And you really don't have to do this. The foam is, completely edible. It's just fine. Don't throw it away. You can use it for a ice cream topping or whatever. But it just doesn't really look that great in jars, and that's the only reason that you skim it off. I was going to show, though, when you fill a jar, you're supposed to fill it for this jam as a 1/4 inch head space. And I didn't know if anybody had seen this picture at all. I like this. It gives a really good indication of where on the jar is a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch or 1 inch. So I just thought that was a really good diagram. I wanted to show that. But then also it's the same thing on the canning tool. I mean the debubbler. It also has, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it has the 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and then the inch. So when you put it on the rim of the jar, you know that if you're at that depth, you're at a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch or 3/4 or 1 inch. So that gives you a real good gauge how to fill your jars on that. So we're just going to go ahead and fill these jars up now. They are still, I put them in the oven on a low temperature around 200 just to keep them hot. And I better move this way a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to fill these within 1/4 of an inch headspace. Try not to make it too big of a mess, but I always make a little bit of a mess. But I do like to can in this pan. It does sort of hold a little bit of the mess. Whoops. So I'm just going to keep filling the jars here. Whoops. Okay. I think this one needs just a little bit more on that one. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to use the debubbler to go around the edges. You just kind of want to make sure there's no pockets of air in your jars. Okay. And then I'm going to grab a clean paper towel and go around the rim of the jar just to make sure there's no syrup or jelly or jam or anything on the jar. And we'll get our hot lid, put it in place, and then our ring and put it on top and just tighten it fingertip tight. So I'll go ahead and fill all these and we'll put them in the canner and we'll come back in just a minute. Okay, so the jam has to be water bath canned for at a rolling boil for 10 minutes. And I don't have a dedicated water bath canner, so I just have a pressure canner, which works fine so long as you don't put it in the locking position. It just works as a regular stock pot or just a water bath canner, so long as you don't lock it into place, which I didn't. So it was boiling for 10 minutes, a rolling boil, and then I let it set for 5 minutes. It's just been sitting here for 5 minutes without me bothering it. I wound up having 8 half pint and 2 pint, and then I also had 1 extra jar that I'll put in the refrigerator. It wouldn't fit in the canner, so we'll put that one in the refrigerator. We'll eat that one first. So now we're just going to take out the jars and place them over here to the side. And they'll sit here for 24 hours without me bothering them. I won't touch them for 24 hours. And just let them sit. And then tomorrow I'll check the seals. You don't want to check them now, because if you press on the lid right now, it'll give you a false seal, possibly. So you just kind of let it sit. Sometimes there's water on top of the lid, and that's okay. It'll evaporate. It won't bother anything. So that's it. That is, oh, did you hear that? That was 1 jar, that the ping, it sealed. Oh, there's another one. Okay, and that's it. Oh, there's another one. All right, so that's all. That's strawberry jam.